Welcome back to the channel. This week we're spending all of our time with this 2024 Chevrolet Blazer EV-RS all-wheel drive. So we've got basically the fully loaded version of the all-wheel drive Blazer, and I've been seeing these things popping up like crazy. So I'm very excited to finally get behind the wheel of it and see what all the hype is about, because I've seen about 12 that look exactly like me on the road just today after I picked this thing up, and it looks really cool. I understand why people get it just from looking at it, and trust me, the camera doesn't do it justice, but this red is a really solid red. Like, we can come over to the back, we'll do a quick walk around, and then I'll hop in and give you my first impressions of the driving side. But this looks really good here. We've got the RS all-wheel drive badge right here. I like how the taillights kind of wrap around here really nice. I'll show you the trunk. We've also got the package that blacks out our bow ties, which is very nice. Of course, we got 360-degree cameras, parking sensors, you name it, we got it. Lots of trunk space here. Very happy with that side. We also have some nice storage underneath the floor here as well, so that's going to be good as well for just general storage. But still, it's as big as, you know, I don't find I'm missing any space. Why not going with, say, the gas version of the Blazer? It still looks really cool. The only thing that concerns me is right here on the side of the vehicle where, well, this thing is, I don't know how that's going to do in winter. I like the way that it blasts out, but I'm glad I'm not testing this in the winter, because I would worry about eventually, potentially, not being able to charge the vehicle. But as it stands right now, this thing looks awesome. Look at this thing. I just absolutely love it. So let's hop in. I'm going to give you my first impressions, and we'll take you through the week. All right, so welcome inside the 2024 Chevrolet Blazer EV-RS with the all-wheel drive. So it's, as loaded as I guess we could get with the EV all-wheel drive. It's not the SS where the rear-wheel drive is more powerful, which is the rare occasion where a rear-wheel drive electric vehicle is actually more powerful than its all-wheel drive variant. But you know what? For what this is, I think we do have enough power. The tech in here is really cool. I mean, the screens are huge. I think GM has caught on to screen sell. And I mean, you know, if you can pack a massive screen in a vehicle, they're going to do it. And this thing is massive, but it's got no Apple CarPlay and no Android Auto. It is only powered by Android Automotive. So what does that mean? I get things like built-in Spotify, built-in Amazon Alexa, built-in Google Maps, and also built-in, I've got a built-in Waze app right here. So that's pretty decent, actually. Being an Apple user, it's interesting because usually I'm always on my Apple CarPlay. I never actually use the integrated systems, but I mean, Tesla doesn't have integrated systems and they get away with it. So I guess GM can kind of get away with it this time. And it's pretty good so far. It's kind of the biggest change with the Blazer EV. I mean, I really enjoyed the full-size gas version of the Blazer. I thought it was really cool. It was also all-wheel drive, so it was solid there. I love the red color. Again, I've got another nice red color coming from Chevrolet. You know what? Very good platform either way. Obviously, the gas Blazer felt a little bit bigger. Like the ride, you know, this has a ride height like a sedan. I don't necessarily feel like I'm in an SUV here. More with the Blazer, I felt a lot bigger in the gas version, but still, I think this is just a sleek design. I'm turning heads everywhere I go, and it's funny because these things have been popping up like absolutely nobody's business, and I didn't understand why, but then you kind of see it in person, you're like, oh, that's a sweet vehicle. Like, it is very attractive. And it also drives quite well too. Like, you know, we have our sport mode stuff. I've got like a custom mode, so like my vehicle's pretty much always in sport mode. So like I always have pretty good acceleration. It's just above, a little bit more than 200 horsepower, so it's not that bad. Like, I got some good to it. You know, it's nothing crazy, but it's still an electric vehicle. It doesn't like pop me back in my seat too much or anything like that. I think the SS probably does that a little bit more with quite a bit more horsepower from the one electric motor. This one has two, but yeah. Steering feels pretty good. I've got one pedal driving enabled. It is very aggressive. You really, like, I have not driven an electric vehicle in a long time, so I have to kind of adjust to it. Like, it kind of made me nauseous at first. It was so aggressive, and that's on normal setting. You can actually make it go a lot higher in the feel for it. So, but I do enjoy it. I still like one pedal driving as if it was yesterday. It's very convenient. I like the blacked out logos. I love the design. The seat is not very bolstered, I'll say. Like, it's pretty, like, you know, there's not a lot of padding on it. It's basically just a seat. And for something like the RS, would have been nice to see some type of bolstering, some type of, like, you know, sporty feel to it, to the seat anyways. The vehicle has enough sporty feel. That's the only thing I felt like where I feel like I'm actually missing. Other than that, we've got everything. It ticks all the boxes in terms of what an EV needs to be. But I'll take you through the week. I'll talk to you about charging and everything else in between. And like as we get to it, I'll try to charge it up to 100% probably tomorrow, and then I'll show you what the range is looking like. Because right now I'm at 81%, looking at 398 kilometers of range. So also another thing, the rear wheel drive gets more range as well, which is like, it's kind of if you want the performance version, the rear wheel drive is really a no-brainer. But anyways, I will pick it back later on during the week, and we'll see what the Blazer EV has to offer. Okay, just charged it to 100%. Let's see what we got here. 100% on the thing, 499 kilometers. Very close to 500. I charged at I guess you could say level 1 or level 2 charger. It took about 2 hours, 3 hours from 80 to 100. That last little bit's kind of complicated, so yeah. All right, back outside with the 2024 Chevrolet Blazer RS EV. Really cool design. I mean, I've seen these things, like I said, pop up absolutely everywhere, but not so much the RS. The RS is a rare sight. It's more the base model. I forgot what the name is, but it's more that one that shows up a lot around here, and I kind of get it. I mean, the infotainment's really good. The exterior looks like nothing I've seen before. It's a really good job by, I think, Chevrolet's engineers to come up with this. Really cool. It looks like an EV. I mean, there's just no gas-inspired parts at all on this thing. It's very aerodynamic. It's very, it's pretty low to the ground for an SUV as well. It's got nice and big tires as well. It's kind of what I'd expect from a Blazer, and I've driven the gas Blazer, and it's big as well. I think my favorite part, though, has to be the front. It looks really sporty, really, really aggressive. The way they match it with the tires, they give you the RS badge and stuff like that. It just looks like it's ready to rumble, ready to roll, and it just kind of adds a nice touch to, an otherwise sometimes boring EV market. I think this is not a boring EV at all. So let me know what you think. Do you like the red on this thing? I love the way that Chevrolet does their reds. I've never been disappointed by it. So let me know. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you buying one? Do you own one? Let me know. So sitting inside the Blazer EV now, I'll show you a quick tour around. Really nice steering wheel with the blacked out badge. We also got the heated steering button, which I'm going to turn off now because it's kind of hot in here. I like the little RS badge right there as well. Very nice touch. The red stitching is also super nice touch. We've got the cruise control buttons. No Super Cruise here on the Blazer EV for me anyways. And then I've got this button right here, which is going to allow me to control the different themes for my gauge cluster, which looks really cool. So I like it. It's got simple stuff there. Nothing too complicated. You can see my efficiency, 261.6 kilometers, 4.9 kilometers per kilowatt hour. You can see my efficiency right here is about 4.9, which is pretty decent for me. Left-hand side, we've got these nice vents as well as 2 memory seat settings. And then we've got the lane keep assist, the auto hold, the illumination, parking brake, center tub. I like this kind of split up here. It's kind of black and then the plastic with the red stitching. Very nice touch, does feel premium. And then we'll move over to our massive infotainment display, our Google Android Automotive infotainment display. It's just massive, but it's really, really quick, really, really responsive. I really enjoy it. I can change my ambient lighting, climate control. It's all here in the infotainment, built-in Amazon Alexa, built-in Play Store. We've got Spotify. We've also got Waze. So we don't have any Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You are stuck using this. So I'll tell you how I feel about that a little bit later in the week. I'll take it for another drive and I'll show you. But so far, so good. I really haven't minded that much because I am a Spotify user, so that's fine. We do have Google Maps, which is nice. You can see it's really responsive, showed you live traffic data as well. This vehicle does come with a hotspot, so that's good too. Heated and ventilated seats as well, so that's nice. It's dual zone automatic climate control, so no complaints there. We can adjust our one pedal driving and the lighting controls from here as well, which is very nice. And then we can also play with drive modes, which you can even set up your own individual mode. It'll kind of walk you through and tell you what's what. Me, I have everything basically on normal except for the steering and the sport, and the acceleration is mostly in sport, and then I have the motor sound in sport, but you honestly don't really hear it. So yeah, pretty good. I like this as well, but we also have a snow and ice, a sport, and a normal mode as well, in case you want that there. I've also got a pretty good 360-degree camera. I like the overhead kind of stuff. And then I can also go from side to side, which is nice, so no problem there either. yeah, overall, it's very good. I mean, look, when I sit back, you get such a good view of it. The camera kind of does it justice because it looks like this is being blocked, but it's not. When I'm sitting in the driver's seat, I can actually see all of these controls and everything here, as well as everything right here. It's very nice to look at. I like these Camaro-esque vents down below. Over here, I like this split of material here as well for the passenger. We have this really deep pocket storage with 2 USB-C ports. This is really only going to be used for charging, like I said, because there is no wireless CarPlay or Android Auto or wired, so it just doesn't exist. 2 cup holders, a wireless charging pad right here, which I think is an excellent spot. I actually use this one. Just put my phone right there, no problem. A little bit of storage in here as well with a little bit of a light. Take a look at the seats as well. Not too bad. We got the RS badge embroidered. There's enough bolstering here. I wish there would have been a little bit more here, just because this is a sporty RS version, so it would have been nice to see that. You can see my baby seat right back there as well. Fits very nice, no problem. There's no sunroof or anything, so I'm kind of missing that. Maybe something at least where the driver was would have been nice, or like a panoramic one would have really made things cool, but it's not a necessity. It just would have been nice to have. Last but not least, though, I've got the digital rearview mirror here. Very nice to use. I like to have it on. It's good quality at nighttime and stuff. I also really like this gear selector. A lot of vehicles are starting to put it here on the side like Tesla has done. This one's very Tesla-esque. You kind of put your foot on the brake and then you can put it into drive, push for park. I can get the reverse as well, and you can hear the EV noises when that happens. But yeah, it's really solid, very easy to understand and use. I like it. I'm very comfortable in here. All right, so if you've ever wondered what's under the hood of the Chevrolet Blazer EV RS, well, here you go. This is it. Like, this doesn't open. This is a huge slab. It's probably like the biggest kind of like slab of, I guess, plastic or like hard plastic that I've seen on an EV since I drove the BMW i5. It had kind of the same thing. No front trunk, nothing. I mean, it's not a point against the Blazer EV RS, because honestly, I never use the front trunks anyways, because they're usually not fun to access. It's kind of a pain. I always forget it's there. So usually I use it for like nothing. But you are going to need to access this, because this here is going to be your windshield washer fluid. And this, I'm assuming, is for firefighters, because we've got a firefighter logo right there. So in case this thing blows up and starts burning, so in case the Blazer starts blazing, we got that logo right there. But that's pretty much all you're going to access the hood for. And I guess that's the only reason they even made it available to open. So there you go. Under the hood, Blazer EV RS. All right, back outside for the last time this week with the 2024 Chevy Blazer EV RS. What a good week it's been. What a fun time it has been to show you this vehicle. This Ultium platform that this thing is based on, it's been absolutely everywhere. And the Blazer, maybe not the RS version, but the LT version has been popping up everywhere. I'm by the highway, and I'm sure if I sat here long enough, I'd see at least 10 in about a span of maybe an hour, which is pretty crazy, right? Like, they're just everywhere around my area. They're popping up like crazy. So it's as if GM is giving them away. So it was really cool to see why, and I guess I kind of understand it. If you can get this thing for a good deal, you are getting one heck of an EV platform. Like I said, Ultium platform is being used by other manufacturers as well. So this is a huge deal for GM and Chevrolet, and this Blazer has got it right. Like, I drove the gas version, and I did really, really enjoy it. It's still one of the most underrated SUVs that you can buy that's gas powered now. This, I think, might be the same thing. Honestly, you got to look at it in person, because it's a lot bigger in person. Like, the camera right now is not doing it justice, trust me. It is a lot bigger in person. It has the Blazer presence that I was hoping I would get, and I definitely did. So let me know what you think so far in the comments, but I'm going to hop in one last time. I'm going to hop on that highway, do a little rip, and I'll give you my final impressions. All right, so one final time on the road now, Blazer EV RS. What a good week it's been. I mean, like, I was expecting this to be just a decent EV with, you know, pretty good efficiency and just easy to use, and it definitely checks all those boxes. Obviously, it's a little bit expensive. It's like close to the 67 grand or 64 grand, something like that. I can't remember the exact price, but so yeah, it is on the expensive side, especially when you go with the RS version. You are losing out on your government incentives, at least here in Quebec. I don't know how that's going to be in other parts of the world, or for my friends in the US. I don't even know if you guys get any. So talk 62,000 Canadian is probably like around the 50 something US, possibly less. So that's decent. But still, I mean, you're still paying a lot for what it is. I feel like they could do better if they lowered it, and I think they might be lowering the price, because I've just been seeing so many, and there's usually there's only one explanation for that. It's either, GM has a very good sale going on right now and they're discounting them like crazy, and people are like, yes, absolutely, let me get into this now. And if you make that decision, if you get this thing on a good deal, like I said, it's absolute highway robbery. You're really getting a fully loaded, really, really good SUV for, if you can get it for less than MSRP, go for it 100%. It's got all-wheel drive, at least the RS all-wheel drive version, the one I have this week, does really good. So I don't feel like I've got to park this thing in the winter or really even be careful. I can tackle any weather. What that's going to do to the range, though, I don't know. I've had dry weather the whole time. I haven't even really driven this thing in the rain at all. Also, the ride quality is pretty comfy too. Like, I'm going over some bumps on the highway right now, going about 110 kilometers, and yeah, I'm not feeling anything. I'm sitting comfortable. My baby and my wife in the back seat, usually they like it as well. No problem. They're not bouncing around. They're not moving around when I'm taking turns. This thing is very much in check with a lot of, like, the comfort and convenience side of things. Like I said, I've been saying this the whole video. My one drawback for the vehicle is the fact that we lose Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's just not available. They have no plans to make it available, at least as far as I'm concerned, on the electric platforms. I don't like that. I feel like people don't want to have to use a new system when they buy a car. They just want to be able to phone project or have both options, because the built-in system here is great. Don't get me wrong. I really like it. I like the Spotify. If you're a Spotify user, it's going to be easy. I like the Google Maps and stuff like that. Like, it's all there, the Google Play Store. The only thing I would ask for is to just add YouTube when I'm charging. It would be nice to just sit there and watch YouTube videos on this really decent sized screen, actually. And I think they can make it do it with a software update. I don't think it takes that much. So Chevrolet, add that in there for my Chevrolet Blazer EV owners. I think a lot of people will thank you for that if you watch this. And yeah, I mean, like I said, like, it's a really good system. I just don't feel like I should be forced to make that choice when I'm buying the car. It should have both options. But other than that, other than the one gripe with it, like, this is a very solid EV platform. It makes sense why GM is kind of loaning out the Ultium EV base to everybody. It's just solid. I really like it. I'm just driving on the highway, no stress, no worries, got range. I've driven over 500 kilometers at this point, and I'm doing 5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So very good efficiency, wildly good efficiency for an all-wheel drive car. Usually the all-wheel drive variants have less range, less efficiency, everything. This time, I feel like it could compete with some rear-wheel drive stuff that's on the market right now. So really good job, Chevrolet. You've done a good job. Let me know in the comments, if you own one, what it's like to own it longer than a week. Have you had any weird gremlins, any weird issue, bugs, software glitches, anything? I want to know it all. And it's also going to help other people in the comments. So please let me know. And let me know what you think of the car overall, if you're interested in one or not. And with that being said, I will see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.